Alright, so before we created the conversation when we click start conversation after a match is found. But in some cases, the user might click continue swiping and the conversation will not be created. So for us, we're going to find another way to create the conversation later by clicking on this match here on the left. So when we click here, we're going to go and create a conversation and go start chatting with the user we've matched with. So for that, we can go back to our code. And here, let's close all. Now let's open our tabs, Livewire component. We're now going to create a new method since the matches are in this tab. We can call this one create conversation. We're now going to receive an ID and we can just get the model directly. Here we can say swipe, match, match from the ID. We're first going to need to get the receiver. Since we don't have the swiped user ID in here, we can just get the receiver. So for that, we can say receiver is equals to here match is swipe 1 user ID is equals to off ID question mark, and then it means that the other user is the swipe 2 user. So here we're only trying to get the other user in this match, not the current authenticated user. Which means swipe 2 user. Yeah, here we can just reference the user relationship directly. Or else it's going to be, let's copy that, swipe 1, comma there. So here, I hope you understand this logic. We're only trying to get or identify the other user in the match who is not the current authenticated user. So here we're going to say conversation. Here, since the conversation might exist or might not exist, so we're going to just say something to cater for that. We can say update or create. Now this, it wants a unique variable to identify the model you're trying to retrieve. So for us, we're gonna pull the conversations via the match ID, this one. And some brackets there. Here we can say match ID is equals to match ID from this one. Then add a comma there outside these brackets, add another one so we can create an array of fields we want to update or create. So here sender ID will be the auth user, of course. You can say auth ID actually. And then receiver ID will be equal to receiver ID, this one which comes from here, this one. Just format that. And also, let me drop this to the next line. Alright. So after doing that, here we're just going to redirect to the actual conversation, but we'll do that in our later videos. Alright, now let's go to our tabs in our blade. In here, let's actually now start to, if you go to matches, where we're looping the matches, in here I'm going to create a button right here saying wire, click, create conversation. Make sure you add some double quotes outside and then some single quotes inside. And then here, add some curly brackets so you can access PHP. And then we can say match ID, or we're passing to this method here in the outside. And here I noticed one thing here. Here we're leaving it blank. It's not supposed to be blank. Here let's just copy this one. Here let's paste it there, and then here change this to swipe 1. Otherwise it's going to show blank for the other user and it's going to show the name for the other user. So we don't want that. Right, so now if we go to our browser and refresh, alright, should work fine. Now if we go to our database, in here we can simply delete all swipes. This is going to automatically delete the swipes and all the conversation. Alright, so now we can now go back, refresh on this other user. If I swipe right, 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 swipe right for everything, go to the other user here, let me refresh. And then if I swipe right, here it's a match. You see, there's a match, but if I go to my conversation in here, you see currently if I refresh, there isn't any conversation. That is working correctly. Now if I go and I click continue swiping, I've continued swiping. I can swipe other users here. no, yes, super like, yes. And if I go to my database, there's still no conversation. So that's why we created this one here, so that when we click, we're going to be able to create a conversation later. So if I click there, the conversation probably has been created because I clicked. If I go and refresh, now you see we have a new conversation here, which is saying send the ID with a match ID 7. Now if I go and click again here, it's going to always, it's not going to create duplicate because we're using update or create. So now I can check again after clicking multiple times, and there's still just the same conversation right here. So this is working fine. Now, before we close the video, let's just go ahead and in our tabs here, let's add cursor pointer, so you can just make it a little bit more, with the cursor pointer, yeah, much better. So now if I click there and I check, the conversation is still going to be the same. All right, so that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.